Welcome back to Mr. Magazine, the home of the most intriguing, emotional, and exclusive celebrity stories from the world of Turkish entertainment. If you love following the hidden passions, rekindled romances, and heart-stirring confessions of your favorite stars, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap the join option to support our growing family. Today's story is one that has ignited the tabloids, captured the imagination of millions, and reignited the flames of an old love story that once defined an entire generation of TV viewers, the emotional reunion between Hazal Subaşı and Erkan Meriç. Years ago, during the filming of the popular television series Adn Sen Koy, Hazal Subaşı and Erkan Meriç shared a chemistry so palpable that fans could sense it even through the screen. What few people knew at the time was that their on-screen connection had quietly blossomed into a real-life romance, one that the pair kept discreetly away from public view. For a while, they lived in the protective shadow of secrecy, whispering affection between takes, hiding glances in crowded studios, and letting their characters express what their hearts could not reveal. But every hidden love carries within it the weight of eventual exposure, and when the romance ended, it left behind questions that never quite faded. Now, years later, that silent chapter of their lives has resurfaced, and with it, a storm of speculation, nostalgia, and raw emotion. It all began with what seemed like an ordinary evening. Hazal Subaşı was seen leaving a popular club in Istanbul, smiling faintly under the flashes of the cameras, when one journalist asked the question that changed her expression instantly: "Are you seeing Erkan again?" Her response came swiftly, framed by a soft, almost defensive laugh: "No way, that chapter is over." Yet her eyes, those deep, expressive eyes, seemed to tell a different story. Behind the laughter, there lingered something tender, something unspoken, something that perhaps even she was not prepared to confront in that moment. Then, the unexpected question fell like a spark into dry grass. Another reporter called out, "Erkan says he still hasn't forgiven you. What do you think?" While Hazal's quiet plea became the talk of every newsroom, Erkan Meriç chose silence. The actor, known for his reserved demeanor and dignity, made no statement. Yet sources close to him revealed that he had been deeply affected by the moment. When Erkan saw that clip, one insider shared, his expression changed completely. He didn't say anything, but his silence said everything. Silence, especially in matters of the heart, often speaks louder than words. Was his stillness a sign of forgiveness, or simply the restraint of an old wound reopening? Social media, of course, exploded. Hashtags began to trend within hours. #Hazal still loves Erkan and #please forgive me. Fans split into two passionate camps. Some insisted that Hazal's whisper was an admission of lingering love, proof that old emotions never truly fade. Others claimed it was nothing more than a moment of nostalgia, a woman revisiting the past with tenderness, not desire. Sometimes, one fan wrote on X, formerly Twitter, "You don't ask for forgiveness to start over, you ask to finally let go." Another replied, "But why cry if you've moved on?" Those tears had meaning. Tell us what you think in the comments below. Was this simply an emotional flashback, or is there still something unspoken between Hazal and Erkan? We at Mr. Magazine love reading your theories, so don't forget to share your thoughts and join the discussion. Apparently, the emotional moment wasn't entirely accidental. Rumors suggest that Hazal and Erkan crossed paths just days earlier at a private industry event. Those who were present described a brief, heartfelt encounter, an exchange of glances heavy with history, followed by a quiet conversation that left Hazal visibly shaken. Later that night, she reportedly confided to a friend, "Forgetting the past is harder than I thought." Such a statement reveals more than regret, it uncovers a woman grappling with memories she thought she had buried. When two people share both love and career, their destinies intertwine in ways that cannot easily be undone. For Hazal Suba, the relationship was not just a romance, it was a formative part of her journey. After their breakup, she devoted herself entirely to her craft, determined to prove her independence and talent beyond their shared fame. But every success carried the faint shadow of what once was. She internalizes everything, another acquaintance explained. Sometimes she reflects on the choices she made. She even said once, "I wish I had done things differently." It's easy for the world to move on, but for those who lived the story, the echoes of the past can linger like perfume in an empty room, faint, familiar, and impossible to ignore. As if fate itself were scripting their next chapter, whispers began circulating in the media that certain producers were considering reuniting the two stars for a new romantic drama. The idea, apparently, was to channel their undeniable real-life chemistry into a project that could captivate audiences once again. Imagine that, the couple whose heartbreak once captured headlines returning to the screen together, this time under the bright lights of fiction, where every gaze, every sigh, might carry echoes of reality. Would such a reunion heal old wounds or reopen them? What do you think, dear viewers? Could their story be reborn, or are some chapters best left closed? Those who know Erkan say that his silence is not indifference, but contemplation. Some wounds need time, he reportedly told a friend. The media interpreted this as a poetic, indirect message to Hazal, a sign that perhaps forgiveness, while not yet spoken, is already forming in the quiet spaces between them. Time, after all, is the greatest author of human emotion. It edits our anger, rewrites our regrets, and sometimes, if we're lucky, drafts new beginnings. In the days following the interview, the footage of Hazal's trembling voice and tear-filled eyes spread across every platform. Fans created slow-motion edits, emotional montages, and heartfelt captions. The phrase "please forgive me" became more than a personal plea, it became a cultural moment, a phrase that resonated with anyone who had ever wished they could take back words or actions from a past love. Media critics called it one of the most authentic emotional displays seen in years. One columnist even wrote, "In a world where celebrity emotions often feel manufactured, Hazal Suba reminded us that stars bleed too." As days turn into weeks, no definitive answers have emerged. Will Erkan respond publicly? Will they meet again, this time not as lovers or co-stars, but as two souls seeking closure? Or will the silence stretch into eternity, preserving the mystery forever? Whatever the outcome, one thing is undeniable: Hazal's words, fragile yet fearless, have reopened a story that many thought had long been buried. Perhaps she did not mean to stir old feelings, perhaps she simply could no longer carry the weight of what was left unsaid. And maybe, just maybe, Erkan heard not only her words, but the beating of the same heart he once knew. What a whirlwind of love, regret, and unspoken connection this story has been. Here at Mr. Magazine, we're endlessly fascinated by how human the lives of celebrities can be beneath all the glamour and fame. Do you believe Hazal's tears came from lingering love or simply the pain of remembering? Could there be a chance that she and Erkan find closure, or perhaps a new beginning, after all these years? Tell us your thoughts below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Mr. Magazine, and hit the join button if you'd like to support our team as we continue bringing you the most heartfelt stories from the world of Turkish celebrities. Because here, every rumor has a heartbeat, and every emotion, a story.